JonnyPink, before I get into the video, yeah, I went back and recorded it. I want to say the only thing I ever ask is a thumbs up. Okay, if you make it to the end, cool, I appreciate it, but I always ask at the end for a thumbs up, and you're welcome to subscribe if you'd like. I do lots of photo stuff. My email's down below, and I'm open to questions. Okay, into the video. Those are ducks out on the sidewalk. That's a sidewalk. That's from all the torrential rains. That's how you know it's going to be muddy out here. JonnyPink. This is Sepulveda Basin Wildlife Reserve. I'm recording my intro and my outro in a different place than where I had started. I've been shooting out here for about 2 hours, and I did a photo walk out in the field as come on, turn your head. There you go. As I did before with the R50, but today I'm using Canon's R7 and again the 600 F11. I know that this lens had spots in it, and so I cleaned the heck out of it last night before bringing it out today, because I saw them in the photos that I was shooting yesterday when I was shooting eagles with this. A couple of things I've noticed between the two different cameras when developing photos, and I even mentioned the Canon R6 III when I was out in the field. I was way over there, about a half a mile away. This place is huge. Doing a photo walk out through the fields, it's really, really muddy. And I know that when I've been shooting here before, I have mentioned the black phoebes and the posts all around here. So I'm gonna start out by showing you a couple of photos. This first one I shot as I was getting into my car, and I was gonna go to a different part, but there's an event, so there was no parking over there. So I came out here and there's nobody here, which is pretty awesome. And this photo that I just shot right now is from here. I love the way it looks. So I know my background is probably blown out and I don't have anything to reflect the light. I didn't bring a light like I would normally have with me because just because I wanted to travel super light. So this is all I have. I have my surrogate, another tripod, the R50V, and that's it. I traveled super light. So check this out. I'm gonna start where I had intended to start with the GoPro, but I never recorded anything, so check it out. I am back out in the field here, in these back fields at the Sepulveda Basin Wildlife Reserve. I probably should have joined James over at Han today, but this is where I wanted to shoot for a comparison, because today I have Canon's R7, right, with the 600 F11. When I was shooting eagles with it yesterday too, way out in, where was I at? Lake Casitas. When I was here, maybe a week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, with the R50 and editing all those photos with the 600 F11, I really enjoyed that as a combo. And what I've discovered shooting all these different things is some lenses work better with different bodies. It's the combination of the two that work really well together. When I was shooting eagles yesterday and going through and editing all the photos, what I noticed is I love the R7. I think it's awesome. But the 100 to 500 I think is a better lens for this body. The 600 F11, and someone's going to say that it shows the limitations of the lens. That's not true, because this lens works really well on full frame bodies. Oh, hold on. So this lens works really well on full frame bodies, including the R3. So I don't think so. What I think it is, hold on. Red-shouldered blackbird, so I have a comparison. What I think it is, and the light today is perfect, absolutely perfect, where it was not the other time, is that smaller sensor collects more light because it's smaller. That's the only difference that I think. But let me shoot some. There's a hummingbird up there too that I want to catch before it flies away, and I'll check back with you in a little bit. Check these out. Now, no comparison is ever the same unless you're in a studio setting using the same body, exact same lighting, everything, same environmental conditions. Everything changes your photos. So I expect just to have fun. That's it. That to me looked like a female sparkle. It was not a crow. It was not a brewer's blackbird. It was, it looked like a female sparkle. Okay, I'm gonna go down this way, and I hope to see hummingbirds. I really, really do like the reach. That was an Osprey. Now, if you look at all the flowers behind me, the advantage, oh, hold on. I'm easily distracted by the birds. Now, the advantage to the R7 body is the amount of control that you have as far as focus and where it focuses. Whereas with the R50, fantastic. I really do like the photos from that. Almost more so than the R7, but is the amount of control that I have with the R7, and I think I have a dirty lens. But as I was saying here, the 100 to 500 or the 100 to 400, because of that close minimum focus distance, for some of these might be a better option out in a place like this. I don't know, but all I have with me today is, of course, the R7, the 600 F11, and the GoPro. That's it. I have nothing. Oh, and my phone. But let's see if I can get closer to this little treasure over here. Beautiful perch. Right here at this bridge, I've been shooting the same Hummingbird. Well, there's a couple of them, but I've been shooting mostly the same one over and over. The control and the ability to have a manual override without switching the button on and off to get the distance so that I can get some of these that are a little bit closer. I'm getting a lot more shots, probably a lot more garbage, and I'll probably fill the card a lot faster. Probably. But that's okay. I'm still having fun. I'll be curious to see what the photos look like when I get home. I cleaned the heck out of this lens last night, inside and out. I should say the inside element or the rear element and the front. So hopefully I didn't leave any streaks on there and I'm getting some good photos. We'll see. You have to let me know down below what you think. Either way, I'm having fun. Is there an advantage to either camera? It depends on what you're looking for. This is just a little bit heavier, and I do have a lot more control, and I have the manual override, so it's a toss-up. It really is. You can see the hummingbirds around out there. Maybe you can or you can't with the GoPro. There's two that I see. There's one over here. There's three. And of course, with all the floods, that's the flood result. I'm gonna wander, and if I think I got, at least I think so, I got a couple in flight, which is really, really tough. Unlike them feeding near feeders, they're not hovering in one place. They're hunting the gnats. This is what I was just walking across. They're out hunting gnats over the water for extra protein. They're not in one place for very long, so the amount of control actually was an advantage there. Oh, another bird on a bush. A little bit side lit. Let me take a photo of that. Nope, it's a leaf. I think I was fooled by that one last time too. Or is it? Let me see. One thing I do wish I had today is pre-capture, because I'm just not fast enough to get to push the button once it finds focus. Either way, it's still a lot of fun. I'm going over here because I want to go down. There's another path over here that I want to check out, and I'm glad it's not nearly as muddy as I was fearing it would be. I thought I'd be caked in mud, and I have other boots with me just in case. This is a different flooded path, so I think I'll avoid this one too. I'll try and make my way around. So far, the most hummingbirds I've seen was over at the bridge. Pretty cool there. Chrysalis, yeah. Really cool stuff out here no matter what I shoot. I'm just having fun. And so now if I were to compare this, the R7 to the R50, well, each has advantages over the other. They both have rolling shutter. The R6 III has rolling shutter that's no different than any of these two, and it's another $1,000. And it's full frame too. So anyway, I think I'm gonna continue back this way and see what else I can get. There's gotta be something. It is beautiful out here. It's flooded here and flooded up there, so it's a trek back the other way. I can hit the bridge again, see if I can get some more hummingbirds. I'm gonna go this way now. So thank you for coming back here. I'm not shooting in autofocus. Another reason for doing it this way is because I have a Canon FL 35mm that I'm shooting. I like shooting these vintage lenses, so I use the surrogate to get my focus, and the little thing up on top gives me a white balance. I have created my own LUT since I shoot log on this, so that I know, so that I have a good starting spot when I'm grading or colorizing or correcting, whatever you want to call it, the photos or the video from the R50V. I like this, and once summer comes around, it heats up, I'm going to switch over to the Nikon ZR again. That one will be my summertime rig. While I was out there, there were a lot of hummingbirds and a lot of finches and songbirds. Hummingbirds was what I wanted the most, and I should have probably joined James out at Han today, but I didn't. But I also wanted to shoot the Canon R7 with the 600 F11 while I was out in that field. So this is my thumb. I'll just pull out the background, which I know is kind of blown out anyway. Again, I wish I had lights. Doesn't matter. A wish in one hand and want in the other, and what do you have? Absolutely nothing. So I'm working with what I have. I'm standing in the shade because I don't want to be standing in the sun right now. It's actually rather warm. But what I've noticed is there's advantages and disadvantages, as I've said, we've all said, to every single setup. The R7, I really like it with the 100 to 500. And I love the control that I have with focus, because I have one button set just for the whatever my focus point is, and I like single point, and then the other turns on the eye tracking. Whereas if I'm shooting the R50, I'm kind of at the mercy of just where it focuses on the eye, and it does a great job, but it's a little bit slower. I love the color from both. I actually like that 24 megapixels on the R50 as compared to the R7. So it's a toss-up and a trade-off. I don't know that one is any better than the others. And both of these have the same rolling shutter, which is the same rolling shutter as the Canon R6 III that you're paying an arm and a leg for. Neither here nor there. And to me, that one didn't have the color saturation that I like in the raw files that this one does, or even the R50. I love the R50. Fantastic little lens. And yes, I'm still looking for an inexpensive, used 100 to 400. So if I have spots in this, I don't really care. I have I bought it used, so it's not the end of the world. It's just a fun lens to shoot. The 800 F11 as well. And I've shot both of them on full frame bodies, the R3 when I had that. I don't think I had this when I had the R1. They're fantastic lenses at an F11, and when something is so far away, you get that beautiful bokeh background anyway. Or is it bokeh? Bokeh is something, it doesn't matter. My mind goes on tangents, and that's why I'm easily distracted by the movement of a bird. Like, there's phoebes that just keep popping onto those posts that I love so much. I'm not going to chase them, but I know this is a long video, and I appreciate you sticking around to the end. I didn't slip and fall in the mud today, which was pretty cool. All I can say is thank you. I hope I'm in focus. This is all manual. Again, I get my focus, pre-focus with my surrogate, and then I take the place of my surrogate where I focused and hope that that shallow depth of field, even though I'm shooting at 5.6, allows me to be in focus. Normally I would have a light that I might shine on myself here to bring the background down a little bit, but don't have that today, and it is what it is. It is okay. Now I think it's back to autofocus for a while because it's so much easier, but the vintage lenses are fun. JonnyPink, thank you so much for letting me share with you guys. I do appreciate it. As I've said so many times, I'm not hawking anything. I have rental links if you wanted to try renting something to see if it's right for you. That is entirely up to you. The only thing I ever ask is a thumbs up. Now this one bends this way, see, it bends backwards. This one does too, but I don't have the same control over it. So this one, that's why I do this. Silly, right? I know. Thank you. Give it a thumbs up. If you made it this far, yeah, please give it a thumbs up. I don't ask at the beginning because I never think about it. So maybe I'll record a little. If you saw something at the beginning, that means that I stopped and I recorded something. So maybe I'll do that, and I'll put that at the head of every single one of my videos from now on. I think that's what I'll do. Seeing a heron in a tree always throws me off, man. They're shorebirds. The disadvantage to a prime is you have to continually back up. So I shot some shots through the trees. All I got was the eyeball. And I continued to back up until I got most of the bird, but continued to back up and it flew away. So